WTFB Radio. I'm your host, Charlie Machine, alongside the Empress Chanel Shantae. And my fall right here, man. Cash no motherfucking money. What's good, my boy?
Excuse the dap.
How y'all doing, man?
Hey.
Second line, my shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I like. Yeah.
Second line.
Thank you.
We here.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
See,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm excellent.
Y'all smell good.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chanel.
I showered today.
It's Chanel.
Yeah.
You dig?
We are Choose What the Future Brings. Black culture through music, man. Brought to you by Exposed TV Studios. Once again, you know that we always in here, man. If you need a studio for video,
This is your studio.
if you need a studio for photo,
This is your studio.
if you need a studio for maybe some B-rolls for your video,
This is your studio.
if you need some different sets, come on, cuz.
This is your studio. They get it. They get it. Where else?
Run up in here, man. One of the top production studios in Mass, ran by the boss lady Kateria Cologne, the creative director Matt Thomas, man. Whatever you can think of, if we can make it happen for you, we will make it happen, man. We got multiple rooms, multiple light settings, multiple
Got garage
themes,
door,
all types of shit.
roll your
We got
shiny shit in
drones
there.
now. We got fucking
We got
Lambos. We got
drones now?
rentals. Yeah, they got rentals and shit too.
Damn.
Shit's crazy, man. The budget just went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Exposed
Couldn't
TV
afford
Studios,
yesterday's
nigga.
price.
Couldn't afford that shit anyway. On Dead Dogs. That's why we're here. You know what I'm saying? Exposed TV Studios, man. Also sponsored by Punch Pies. Packed with a punch, man. Where my pie at? Bang.
Nah, they
got
went to
one
the
here.
guests.
We got one.
Oh,
and
they can't go to the guests.
Yeah.
So what flavors we got today?
Today we got the TK Oreo,
TK or I like.
and then I
that
gave
one.
Berto the heavyweight cheesecake.
Heavyweight cheesecake, man. You know, if you got sweet tooth, I know you niggas be getting high. Y'all niggas be getting blunted up, nigga. That's one of the best little snacks you can have. You know what I mean? Right after you have a, you know, some HT or some gelato or runts, whatever the fuck y'all niggas be smoking these days, man, right?
Well, that shit sounded good.
Look, I don't smoke. So.
You see, you
I'm
drink
just
good
talking about some shit that I hear. You know what I mean?
Good
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
man. There you go. You
It's
know how to
good
buy
for the late
a
night
nigga, bro.
munchies.
But it's all types of flavors, man.
Absolutely.
You know, holla at your pie dealer, man. Chanel Shantae, man.
She be whipping.
I mean, she be
It's
whipping them
me.
pies, wrist game proper.
Yes.
And
Fat elbow.
and yeah, man. What's up with y'all?
You know it's a joke.
See, this is
You know
why
your
we
elbow's
always
not
get
fat.
into it because you just
You know
always
you
talking
got the
shit.
fat elbow.
I'm trying to be nice.
It's like
but
a
see,
compliment. It's like
You just
know?
want me to get there.
Yeah.
Come
Y'all should
on
just fight.
now. I really want
Just
to.
punch him in the
I'm not
face.
ready
I
to
really
lose.
want to fight him. I do.
Just
You
punch him
see
in the
them
face.
shoulders, bro?
Oh shit!
Niggas body shit. Don't fucking touch me.
You see?
But how you doing, Nelly? You ain't been here in, you know what I mean, over a week. So what's up?
It's been over a week.
Well,
Damn,
you skipped
time
a
got
week.
flying.
I skipped a
I
week.
got separation issues.
I did skip a week. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's okay to say you miss someone. See, when it comes out like all of that, it's just be vulnerable.
All right.
Wow.
I miss you.
Wow.
I missed you too, Cass. Wasn't that easy?
Growth.
I missed you guys
that
too.
hard. It was that hard. I'm gonna like this blunt on the deal with it. I like this blunt to deal with it.
This nigga's sweating.
Best way I can cope with it is by lighting this. Go ahead. Tell us about your days.
No, I honestly, they just been going by so fast that I don't even know. I feel like the every other week thing for me here, it works because it gives me some time to like woosah. It's
we
a
can
lot.
only deal with you in doses too. So
Yeah,
that's good. It's good for us, too,
likewise,
you know what I mean?
likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of testosterone,
Yeah,
but
you know, light skin shit.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Not enough good.
I've been great though. I've been great. How have you guys been?
Cash,
Besides missing me?
Celtics, baby.
Sergio Ticini
I
in the
already knew he was
flesh.
going to talk
Finals,
about sports.
baby.
Yeah.
We going. I know you don't care.
So
I
they up
don't.
3-2 now.
Up 3-2.
Yeah.
We ending it tomorrow night in the Garden. And after that, we're going to Golden State.
Golden State. That's the real problem. Yeah.
Why?
They got
Because
6
Golden
light skinned
State.
niggas.
They got 6.
They all
light-skinned
look the
niggas,
same.
and they all shoot threes.
They all shoot threes.
You're all the same
You're all the same height.
All the same height.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of replicas.
I swear to God, these niggas, they all came from the same parents. They're all the same niggas.
But I hear Golden
not
State
related.
is shitty.
No,
I hear
I
like
know.
that area got mad homeless people. Like
yeah,
there's
it's
like
Oakland, bro.
Yeah, like you're homeless.
You ever seen what
It's,
Dave
it's
Chappelle?
like on an application, nigga. Like where you live, homeless. It's on there, nigga. Like
When-
when you apply for a job in San Francisco.
When Dave Chappelle was talking about the difference between San Fran and Oakland, it's just the bridge. He was like, "Thanks for visiting San Francisco. We're having a sale on Birkenstock, right?" He's like, then when you get to the other side of the bridge, it's like, "Welcome to Oakland, bitch." Right? So that's like, you know what I mean, polar opposites. You know what I mean? But I you know, what I mean,
Duality.
So, yeah, I'm
do wanna
excited.
see the Celtics win.
Yeah, nah, it's going down.
Even though the Lakers, you know,
going down.
LeBron,
Energy is
LeBron bummed it. I mean, this season,
You can feel the energy.
I would definitely want to.
A lot of people don't want to grasp the Celtics are back with a team that can win again. Because all the banners and the shit, you know?
Yeah,
they like the Lakers because it's LA, you know, niggas want to do drugs and become a different person. Become that person. You know what I mean? So it's like
fun.
all that shit is a disguise. Over here it's real. That's why the fans are real. It's like, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, sports, you know.
Fair enough, man. But I want to get into the Red Cups and ratings, man, because I want to talk to the guests.
Me too.
So let's get straight into the Red Cups and ratings, man. This week we got 2 albums once again. The first one we're gonna talk about, man, is by somebody who was brought to us by our recent sponsor, man, HT Butter. This is a High Tolerance Records artist, actually, the real ace. He dropped Misunderstood by the real ace, man. This is a 8-track EP. It's about 22 minutes long. I want to open it up to y'all. How'd y'all feel about it?
It was enjoyable for the most part. I mean, this might be a reach, but did y'all get like Nipsey vibes or
On certain records.
Yeah, like I
certain
think it
records.
was Die About It. I got like Nipsey Hussle
Die
vibes.
About It, yeah.
Which is dope.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Which is dope.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like one of his idols or
The
you know somebody
flow.
he looked up to.
The flow.
Right.
That's it.
Like,
But no disrespect. I don't know, dude. So like I can't say whether or not he's Nipsey-esque. But what I'm saying is Nipsey is like, oh my God. Like, I mean, that's heavy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just put everybody in that conversation.
but that's a great comparison.
But the flow is easy to emulate, is what I'm saying. Because Nipsey wasn't like he wasn't a rapper's rapper. He wasn't like
Right.
I'm gonna say mad syllables in one bar type rapper.
But
So
you know what? I
it was laid
expect to
back.
hear a lot. That's funny you say that because I hear a lot more Nipsey and niggas now
now
after
that
he's
he's
passed because
gone.
Yeah.
of his, you know, just his spirit carries on. Like,
Yeah.
niggas dug deep into his music, so I'm sure that Nipsey's somebody he listens to. But
Of course.
Right.
for me, it was just not the lyrics weren't just banging for me, bro. It was a lot of. What was it? What was the shit you told me to say? Instead of not easy, it was
boring.
simple. It was simple.
Oh my bad.
Boring? Boring. When we talked about
Look,
it. We talked about it. So boring is what I first
And
felt.
we means not me.
No,
Man,
we all
when we
talk
say
about it.
boring, right?
Oh,
Boring
we
doesn't mean bad, right?
Nah.
Because I've described J. Cole as boring, right? Doesn't mean he's a bad
It's all about
rapper.
perspective. It's
Doesn't mean he's a
perspective.
bad rapper.
You're not
It just
supposed to
means
rig up J. Cole.
It's a snooze fest, right? It's like, you know, and I'm not saying that the real Ace is a snooze fest because I listened to this a couple of times. And the more I listened to it, it grew on me. The more
Same.
and more, right?
Likewise.
So it was like, you know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I don't know his history. I didn't really dig into his background and things of that nature. So I can't confirm nor deny the accords in the music. But what I can say is that he didn't get too personal. And I think when you do get personal, it kind of sets you aside.
Right.
And then that's when people
It was
start
kind of surface level.
right. It was like I want to be a rapper starter pack.
Stage level.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I'm not. And look, I'm not saying it like, you know, I'm not trying to throw no shots at dude. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna go with the sing rap sound, you gotta give people you for them to attach themselves to you because
Yeah.
everybody's doing the sing rap sound. Right
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
What
Doesn't
we
make it bad. Like I said, doesn't make it bad. The lyrics was good. The production was good. You know, the engineering could have been a little bit better. You know,
I thought the
authenticity.
production was fire.
Yeah, the production was
I
good.
thought the production was
You know what I mean?
fire.
Like I enjoyed it. Like I
like
would listen to this while driving around and doing shit that I had
I
to
smoked
do.
blunts too.
You know what I mean? It's just I just didn't feel like I learned anything about him while listening to it.
It was just a good listen.
right. Anything else y'all want to say about it?
Nah, what we give it?
All right, so out of 5 red cups, man, we gave Ace, misunderstood, the real Ace, 3.3 out of 5 red cups,
Okay,
man. Shout out my man, real Ace.
I'll drink to that.
3.3 is good, man. You know what I'm saying? 3.3 is good. I mean,
33. Larry
More than
Bird,
halfway.
Celtics.
Not 3.5, just 3.3.
3.3. It's an average. It's an average. You know what I'm saying? The next one, man. The next one, this one is actually somebody who actually been up here before. He's very, very new at this rap shit. And when he actually pulled up, you know, it was with somebody who, you know what I mean, I go way back with. And he surprised the shit out of me with his Red Cups and Rap freestyle because of his age. At the time when he pulled up, he was 18. Now he's 19. So I'm talking about Lil Rock. He dropped Times Changed, which is a 7-track EP. I'm gonna open it up to y'all. What y'all think?
I think he's looking for his voice. Like,
Okay.
I feel like he's searching
Couldn't have
for
said
his
it better.
voice. Like, and I heard that when I first met him, and he did his Red Cup and Rap, and I was like, okay, like he has something to say. You know what I mean? But like,
He's trying to figure out how to
yeah,
say
he's
it.
trying to figure out how to deliver that.
He's very monotone and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of what he's talking about, like, you know, him losing his father. Like it's so sad. Like I just want to give him a hug. But I agree with Tash. Yeah.
But other than that, if you take that apart, the shit was, I liked it.
He got some bops.
Yeah, like he knows how to, you know, he knows how to put a song together.
The kid's 19.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like,
yeah.
so imagine, like, you know, his growth is, if he stays focused, which you know, I'm rolling the dice that he will.
I'm sure he will.
You know what I mean? So like, he can grow, and like that shit's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see.
This is the son of Rock Ducati, the late great Rock Ducati, man. R.I.P. Rock Ducati. This is the nephew of Smoke Bolger and Lee Boy and Mums and T. Lee. He has that Lee lyrical gene in his bloodstream, like for real. The kid can rap. He needs to be more polished. This is his first project, right? For a first project, you're talking about 7
not
tracks. For 7 tracks, I think it's amazing for your first project at 19 years old, and you're introducing yourself to the world. And also, I thought it was dope that he didn't call on his uncles to help him and be like, yo, please,
Without a feature.
I need you on here.
Yep.
We didn't see Lee Boy on this. We didn't see Smoke Bolger on this. We didn't see Mums on this, right? So, you know what I
Went
mean?
forward on his own.
He said, look, this is who I am. This is where I am in life. And I love the fact that he was candid with it, and he spoke about his pops a lot. He got his dad's name, Lil Rock. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not fucking around with this shit. He's carrying on that legacy. And I might be a little biased because, you know what I mean? Me and Lee Boy, that's my guy. But like, when I hear Lil Rock on this, I hear Lee Boy. I hear Rock, right? It's like a mixture of Rock Ducati and Lee Boy. And I love it. I just want to see him grow into his own. I just want to see him keep going hard and actually just keep evolving as an artist, man.
Yeah, I think he will. Like you said, it's a great start to not call on, you know, Lee Boy and the rest of them as features. So that goes to show how confident he is.
Right.
In
And
himself.
And the features that he did have, they were good, man.
Yeah.
Esco Baby, I don't know who that is, but that shit was hard. That None of My Love joint and the Sprite freestyle with, you know, the big DP. I don't know who that is. You know what I mean? But I like the shit, man.
It's wild.
I mean, these young niggas, you know what I mean, they be doing the big DP. That shit was hard.
Damn, you can pause that one.
Yeah, pause, for real. So what we gave Times Changed by Lil Rock, man. We gave it a 3.6 out of 5 red cups, man. Shout out Lil Rock.
36.
You know what I mean? Shout out Ducati gang. Shout out, you know what I mean, everybody over there, man. That's family. And yeah, man. What's up with y'all, man? Y'all ready to bring the guests in?
Yeah. Because I'm sure they got some
I'm
shit
ready,
for the
I'm
current
ready.
events.
Yeah, lots of current
Talk about
events.
this sad shit.
So I mean, all right. So the guests we got this week, man. I mean, like these guys don't really need an introduction, right? But we're gonna do it properly, right? You know, we got 2 guests in the building. We're gonna start ladies first. This is somebody who I admire on multiple levels because not only is she multifaceted, she also has built a really big following with her podcast, right? So when I first started podcasting out here, she was one of the first people that I kind of looked at like, wow, like, you know, but she has something that she's attaching to it. It's her profession, right? She's passionate about it. She breathes this shit day in and day out. She's a family woman, family oriented, and she married to a Zoe, man. So that's always a plus. You know what I'm saying? None other than Celeste the Therapist. I'm gonna clap it up for my girl right here. Yeah.
I love her laugh.
And alongside Celeste, we have one of the most powerful voices that are coming out of this city, man. I mean, like, this dude is tapped into so many different things.
Appreciate that.
He's creating a huge name for himself for speaking and inspiring and motivating people to do amazing things. I just love hearing this guy talk. Like, I mean, like, if somebody writes an autobiography about me, man, I want him to nap. So I need everybody put your hands together. My man, Kurt Faustin, man.
Hey. Awesome.
How y'all feeling, man?
I'm good. You guys are very welcoming. It's weird being here because I watch you guys on YouTube faithfully.
Yeah,
So,
that's dope.
Just a little sad I didn't have enough time to prepare any bars.
You got some bars?
I don't. I didn't have
That
enough
would
time.
have
I'm
been
not a real rapper.
You just do it for like play?
No, I would have just did it because that's what people do at the end.
Right.
Love that. See?
That's real.
I'm so sad.
I love it.
I know Kurt got some balls for us. It might not be rhyming, but Kurt's gonna hit you. So when you have to understand that if you're not moving up, you're only getting dragged down. Stand up. Right? You know what I'm saying? Stand up, young man. Stand up. You know what I mean? Nigga, I can listen to that shit all day.
No, it's funny. I actually wanted to be a rapper growing up. My rap name was Courtesy baby. You know what I mean?
Courtesy.
that.
That's not a bad rap name.
Thank
Not
you.
bad rap.
You hear that shit?
So why didn't you pursue that career?
Because I sucked.
I just wanted you to acknowledge that.
Nah,
to say
That's
it.
fair.
I was more like the Haitian Dr. Seuss. The rhyme wasn't that good.
Did you pick the name first? You had the name first, and then you was like, that shit's it. I'm gonna rap.
On dogs, yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a good name. Glad you didn't choose rap though. Thank God.
Oh, God.
This is a bunch of niggas like, I wish that would just choose that same route.
Like, we need more plumbers,
And
electricians,
Yeah.
carpenters.
Nannies.
Teachers,
Y'all niggas go be
principals, all that
nannies.
shit.
Jesus
Daddy
was a
daycare. Yeah.
So stupid.
Sheesh.
But yo, man, for the people who don't know who y'all are, man, just give people a quick rundown who you are, what you do, and what you represent.
So I'm Celeste, a therapist. I'm from Boston. And I talk about mental health. I'm really passionate about the Black community. I feel like people get stuck, and so I kind of help people change their mindset and help them get unstuck. So
Love it.
I like that.
Similar to her, I started an organization called the Dropout Academy, and it's really just dropping out the school limiting thoughts. And I put together mental health programs and emotional intelligence programs for like organizations, schools, all that shit, just helping people, think through shit a little bit differently.
Word.
Yeah.
Love that.
So the whole theme of this episode really was I wanted to bring you guys on here to acknowledge that we're in May, Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And who better to talk about mental health than you guys who are strong advocates of it, right? So, and I wanted to specify it for Black people because we're all Black here, right? And this is Black culture through music, right? And you guys are supporters of us, so I figured let's open the floor to y'all, man. So I have a lot of questions about mental health, but I want these guys to kind of like, take the reins on it first and open it up.
I do too, but I mean, I just really want to know, how did you guys get into the career of being a therapist and advocate for mental health? Like, what caused you to choose that route?
So for me, I thought mental health was for white people. I ended up in
Me too.
I struggled with depression growing up, and I remember I was 19 in the hospital with my oxygen level dropped, and
Wow.
and it was like the next day they ran tests. It was like, yo, I think you should see a social worker. And I was like, yo, these people think I'm crazy. And I pulled my IV stuff out and walked out. And so, anyways, I ended up going to therapy and stuff, and going to school, and my outlook on life is completely different. And so, because I've like changed completely, like I want to share that with other people. I'm a sharer.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think for myself, like probably a couple of y'all in the room, I didn't realize how the Haitian culture impacted me in such a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
C'est mon folie, yeah.
Yeah, like I
Yo,
grew
with my female clock.
crazy. I didn't realize how like the big impact it had on me mentally and emotionally. And then I looked around and I saw so many people that had like untreated trauma. And these people were like my mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunties, my neighbors and shit like that. And then the only thing we were doing was like perpetuating the same cycles. You dig what I'm saying? And I didn't realize that shit until I seen like people. I feel like that shit all the time. Like I go Hyde Park, Mattapan, Roxbury. I feel like I see so many fucking dead people walking. You dig what I mean? Like they're just waiting for the cemetery. And some of these, a lot of people are in our culture. You dig what I mean? So it's like, how can I put together words, you know what I'm saying, to help really change their mindset or challenge their perspective? Because if you think differently, you'll believe differently. If you believe differently, you act differently. You act differently, you get a different result.
See, this is why I like this nigga.
Yeah.
Bars.
Hey yo,
Hey yo,
Don't start now. You already know. We already established you're not good. You gotta get a
Don't
ticket.
do it.
Let's get in line for that.
He ready for that 1 cup, 1 out of 5.
Like when did
It might
like
be a half a
mental health awareness month? When did that start? Like I know we
don't
talking
even know.
about women's. The women's month, and I know you
He's
hate
so
that. I know you hate
stupid.
that.
Because it's been around for a while.
the women's month started in the 90s.
Thank you.
I
Chase.
could have
Thank
sworn
you.
it was the 80s.
But whatever.
It didn't get recognized until the 90s.
Well, 85.
Okay, so
All right.
You know what I mean?
What
And I was
saying?
a little
Like,
nigga when that
so
happened.
when-
So I
Like,
was
because I haven't heard of it until about like a couple years ago, like mental health. You know what I mean?
I didn't hear about it till organization hit me up for a check. So I didn't even like. I'm not even going to lie because every month is Black History Month to me. I don't give a fuck if that's February or not.
shit. Yes.
Every month has to do with Mental Health Awareness Month, just because society deemed it for some whatever, capitalism bullshit, whatever the case is. I didn't like. It's cool, whatever. I don't know when it started.
well, it said that since 1949.
The term.
Wow.
To answer your question.
Well, that term just
Mental
fucks
health
me up,
awareness
'cause
was
it's like,
Since 1949.
That's mental health
so
awareness.
it's like, 'cause like
That's wild.
you
That
can
is
never
wild.
be perfectly mentally healthy. You can never be perfectly mentally healthy. Like you'll always be going through something in your mental. Like so, like
Well, I gotta disagree with that because I think that you're always gonna go through something, but how you deal with it is what
That's a
mental
fact.
health is, right? Like it's like
okay, so learning the fact.
it's fortitude essentially, right? Like it's mental fortitude where it's like, all right, I'm going through some shit.
Yeah.
This shit's heavy, but I know how to compartmentalize these things. I know how to break down what I'm feeling. I know how to express what I'm feeling, and I know how to not perpetuate that negativity on everybody else around me, right?
Right.
Which I personally have trouble with, right? I'm not gonna lie, right? As a professional, no.
Yeah.
When I'm working, when I'm partying, I'm at work, don't nobody know how I'm feeling.
A1.
When I'm at home,
It's different.
my wife catches all of that shit, right? And
So there you go. So you're not perfectly healthy. So you gotta agree.
are
with
you
it.
perfectly like physically healthy?
Hell no.
But do you feel sick every day?
No.
right,
Okay, so I guess my point is like if you're bleeding, you're not gonna walk around bleeding. But unfortunately, with mental health, that's the way we walk around. We
don't
don't
bleed.
we don't take care of the wound, so it spreads. So if it's spreading, then that means that you feel like you're struggling all the time. So if my wound is spreading, I'm gonna feel like I'm hurting all the time. But physically, we always take care of it. Mentally, we don't. Bars.
So, like, what are your views on trauma without intervention?
So trauma, it basically like physically, the way things change physically is what happens mentally. The issue is that because we can't see it in real time, we don't recognize the trajectory and how it happened. So a lot of times when people come see me, the first session, I walk through their story and whatever they're dealing with now, a lot of times I'm able to help them make the connection So people think, oh, well, this was like when I was 10 or this was when I was 12. And it's like, okay, but your body keeps the score. It's not like you can unremember.
Right. So you
something.
still have like that 10, 12
You could
year old
pretend that you
like,
don't know, but like
there.
the audacity of us to pretend like we don't, like we can stuff something down that's a part of our experience. Like that can never be the case. But we are survivors. Like we come from kings and queens, but we were slaves at one point, and unfortunately, all of that trauma passes on through our DNA and through our history and the way that we are brought up. And so we learn to just survive. We never learn how to live.
Thanks, George Washington. Fucking guy.
Man, me and that nigga share a birthday, man.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Saxon.
Yeah,
Saxon.
I don't say it out loud, but now I did.
Oh, damn.
That's just real.
So, before we get into the nitty gritty, man, I want to talk about some shit that's been going on in the world.
All right.
Right? Because we can
We
can break down mental health all day, but like this is some
Yeah.
shit that's been fucking with my mental health, man.
Yeah.
Buffalo in Texas.
Buffalo, we spoke about last week, which is so
Buffalo,
crazy.
Which is crazy.
We spoke about Buffalo 7 days ago, right?
And now here we are.
R.I.P. to those people. And now here
that's
we
a
are
fact.
with another tragic event at Uvalde, Texas, I believe.
Yeah, Volta.
Uvalde, Texas, with 19 deceased, I believe.
Something like that.
Most of them being children, elementary school children, yo. Like, and I have
Kids, right?
a daughter who's in elementary school.
It's just
You know what I
scary
mean?
as fuck.
Likewise.
So like, I thought about it like, damn, yo, like,
Couldn't imagine dropping her off. Like, see
you know what I mean?
later.
Like, so my wife teaches at the school that she goes to.
Right.
Ooh.
Imagine some shit happening. I'm airing that shit out, nigga, on dead dogs. So it's like,
It was 45 minutes long. He was in there.
and now more shit is coming out.
Yeah,
right.
the police didn't go in right away and
The
shit
police
like that.
didn't do a damn thing. They had assault rifles on them.
Long guns. Niggas had hockey sticks.
They had 223s on them. They had all types of shit. Go ahead.
I know my take might be a little bit different, right? My take in regards to it, of course, it's a tragedy. It's fucking sad as hell. I'm starting to blame or put more attention into politics. That's where, like, there's people are mentally sick. Like, if you could go in a classroom and kill a whole bunch of kids, there's something fucking wrong with you. Like,
Oh, yeah,
that's not even.
absolutely.
I'm not even going to debate that. But the fact being that politicians have yet to address whether it's something around gun laws or even doing background checks or the fact being that like the NRA is paying so much money into the Southern politicians that they don't want to address certain things, and so you're okay with not addressing certain shit, and there's an NRA convention this week in Texas. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's where it's like us as individuals and people, I feel as though we need to get more involved into leadership positions because we don't have enough motherfuckers like us in those positions. We're always going to face the consequence of their ignorance. You dig what I mean? So it's like, how can we get more involved? How do we get these fuckers out so we can start representing ourselves to make laws that's going to be safe for our kids and family members? It's not all about the dollars because it's for them. It's all about the money,
It's about the power more.
power and money, staying in power. You dig?
Right.
I'm scared of the pattern. Bro. I'm scared like it's gonna continue. Like, I feel like it's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the scariest thought.
Why do you feel like it's not gonna stop?
Because I feel like this kid probably seen that kid do it at the grocery store and was like, he probably had that thought. And
But
that
this
shit-
been going on though. Mass shootings been, like, remember growing up, Columbine and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, mass shootings been
Just
going
didn't pay attention to it.
right. It's different when we're older. We're a little bit more aware. We have kids. We can kind of be like, oh shit, can you imagine?
Because our kids are going to be the same way. They're not paying attention to this right now. And then when they get
Exactly.
older and then it
Right.
becomes more consistent and then it's like a shocker, like, no, this been happening.
There's some shit that you wouldn't want your kids to even know about.
Very true. So you kind of shelter them from this.
And
And with technology, right, and social media, it's louder now because remember when we were kids, we had the news and the radio, and then we had like newspapers. We didn't really have Instagram
they
and
put
Facebook.
the boys' text messages up on the news.
Right, everything is in your face, so you can't ignore it.
Him telling a girl he never met in his life, I'm about to go shoot her in the
He said, "I'm about to
elementary
air out."
school.
I'm gonna air out. That's what he
just-
said. And she had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
But how come our society deals with this more than other societies?
Right.
That's where I'm talking about leadership and sociology and all that bullshit. Like,
why do you think that is?
Our culture.
It's to have control, I feel, over us and our minds and get us like, because to me personally, with the mental health and being stressed and scared, it becomes a sickness, and then you're dependent on pharma, all these medications, and it's just like guns. It's all exactly.
I need guns because they got guns.
In other countries and other places, like guns are illegal. They have control. It's not happening in other places.
There's another aspect to it, right? It's like coping mechanisms. This kid said he was bullied, and so now to release his anger per se in terms of bullying, he's going to now shoot up people that even bully him, which is right. That's even the crazier part.
Right.
No kids that didn't even have anything to do with what he went through. He's like, I'm going to attack them. That's coping mechanisms. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a wild coping mechanism, bro.
Facts. But how come we don't have literature in the school system to teach mental health or financial literacy or credit? Like, I could go all day about this shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like, how come we're not teaching this stuff at a young age? Because if he's at the age where he's getting bullied, he could actually be able to learn different techniques to deal with that stress and that pressure in a healthy manner that could make him successful versus now make him deceased and kill a whole bunch of people with him.
That's very important. Because at a young age, we learned
about
drugs and sex ed. We never learned mental health.
Have a client?
Never. We never learned like anything that was going to be helpful for actual life besides like
simple
math.
Like there was a movie they did studies on like serial killers.
That's the only shit that we still use to this day.
Like they had psychiatrists go into the jail and talk to serial killers, and they did a lot of studies on serial killers. But like, I don't know if they did any studies on school shooters. Would you, is it theropod?
Don't create another fucking word.
Theropod.
Spell it.
I use that word too, Cash. But I therapize a what?
A school shooter.
A potential school shooter or after?
Like after he's in jail, he's alive.
He already did the
crime.
White.
We know he's white because he's alive.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
That too.
Yeah, Salvatore's dead.
Yeah,
they killed him.
Yeah,
he's a minority.
Yeah. Right. Did he kill himself or was he?
No, they killed it. No, they killed it.
That wasn't confirmed though, right?
The little girl who survived that was in the school confirmed it.
Oh, okay,
that's sad, man.
But
like, is that too intense for you? That type of person?
No, I've seen a lot of people. I'm 39. I've been like in this field since I was 19.
Has anybody ever told you they were gonna shoot up a school?
No.
Oh, all right.
So
you gotta report that, right?
I would have to report it. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about things people have done. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference, like in contrast of working with like different races for you?
So I work with all populations. One thing I've noticed is that white people value self-care and rest. Black people we don't.
We love money.
It's a survival.
Right.
It's a survival thing, Cash.
Right.
So and also the struggle. So the thing about like the things we go through, the solutions are the same, but the struggles we deal with are different. Yeah. So the things that they struggle with is a lot different than the things that our people struggle with. And so like the message I try to bring is trying to provide like resources that don't cost money, because that's a huge barrier. Money and time is a huge barrier to why we struggle so much. And education, not like school education, but the education around the things.
What? How would it become affordable to like an average black person?
So I mean, I think when people are
mental health, like therapy.
Oh, therapy.
Right?
Well, therapy is not
insurance
the only. Yeah, you need insurance, and so I started my podcast in 2018 because I working in the emergency rooms. And when people would be like excited to see me because like I have locks, I'm tatted, I'm wearing my like hoop earrings, and they can't believe I'm the one evaluating them. Yeah. And and then just kind of explaining some things to them that they had no idea about. And that's why I was like, oh, I got to tell the people. And so even if you don't have the financial means, you can still work on working on yourself. Yeah. And I really believe that. I think that America puts this barrier to it with like, you need insurance or money, and they only focus on therapy and psychiatry. But there are so many other avenues that we can like put ourselves in position to help us like understand ourselves and become self-aware and like work on our thinking differently.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, Kurt, you work with kids. Like, you go to...
I usually say fuck the kids.
Yeah, me too. And they go on dogs. Fuck them kids, man.
I'm dead serious, though.
On dead dogs. Right? But,
his face screwed up when you said that.
I've seen you doing a lot of speaking at schools.
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
I didn't. No, I'm serious. No, when I started off speaking, I started off doing this in Boston Pre-Release Prison. I did Boston Pre-Release Prison for 3.5 years. I ran halfway houses for 7 years.
Okay. And
then that led me to realize that even when I was talking to older men, majority of the time, I was actually talking to the inner child. So it's like, there's a relation, let me build a program for the kids. But the reason why I say usually fuck the kids is not obviously fuck the youth, is due to the fact being if the adult, like you could pour into the kids, but society's going to pour right out of them. The adults are going to pour right out of them. So if we don't have more programs for adults, then what's going to happen to the kids? You dig what I'm saying? Kids only model the behaviors they see around them.
Wow.
You dig what I mean? So like, why are we so focused on the youth instead of focus on their parents, which is going to change the youth? You dig what I mean? So
I like that.
I that's why I'm like, I realized lately, like I really want to focus more on young adults and older adults, because they will have a bigger impact on their kids, which will then change the next generation.
So what's a common trauma that like black men face that you have come across, or like black women, just the black community in general?
There's a lot of shit that's going on with us, man.
Is there one that stands out more?
We all fucked up now.
Listen, we are, but I mean, is it like what, sexual abuse, abandonment? Like, what's the most common trauma that you guys have come across?
A lot of the things I'm seeing has to do with usually, obviously, around childhood trauma, usually around the family, broken homes. And I always say it's not necessarily what you go through, it's like what you believe, what you go through. Because my life changed when I realized my brain's a body part.
Right.
You dig what I mean? So I'm not what I think. There's a separation between who I am and what I think. And what I think is majority of the time negative. And that's basically programmed based off society. Right. You dig what I'm saying? Like every day you grow up hearing you're a vagabond. 10 years later, what are you going to think about yourself? Exactly. It's just going to naturally come out. You get what I mean? So so that's when stuff started changing. But when I'm seeing in certain like certain thing with men, when I feel like we don't have healthy coping mechanisms. So when we deal with pressures and stress, we don't communicate effectively. Our coping mechanisms tend to be what? Entertainment, smoking, sex, drugs. You dig what I mean? So we don't necessarily know how to handle it, but we tend to run to sex, or we tend to run to entertainment, some form of entertainment. We tend to run to drugs, and that only just like suppresses the issue. But that
still lives there.
Yeah, but black men die the earliest age. You dig what I mean?
Like a real nigga.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you get medication. Like you go to your doctors, they quick to give you medication. So like, we can't disregard medication is real and medication works, right? What you going?
You think medication works?
Just for some motherfuckers, right now, right?
Chemical imbalances are a real thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I truly believe that.
Exactly. So then there's medication.
There are medications to correct.
I'll say this, I've worked in so many different areas. I think with bipolar and schizophrenia, I've seen medication work wonders for people.
Yes.
In general, though, our society wants to keep us sick so we can depend on them.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people end up coming to me because the doctor said like, oh, this happened. I mean, you need to take this medicine. And they wanted to try something different. Even when I'm dealing with my clients, I tell them let medicine be a last resort.
Wow.
Society benefits off of our insecurities, our fears, and then when we're on social media all the time and we're watching all of these things, we just are we're sucking it all up, kind of like if we're eating like bad food, we're like putting it all in our system. That's going to our mind, and we don't even recognize that we are standing in the way of our own healing when it comes to like not carrying so much load of the heaviness that we are feeling now.
Damn,
That was deep.
smoking shit.
So,
But you see, the weed come from the ground. This is a plant. You know what I mean? You put the seed, just like an apple tree. You know what I mean?
Go ahead and try to
you put a
validate
seed in
it.
the ground, it grows. You know what I mean? You happen to set it on fire, you eat an apple, same shit. Different effects.
Tequila
If
comes
that
from
makes
grapes,
you feel
right?
better.
Speaking of
It's
tequila, can I get
fermented,
another cup?
And
please?
then,
So I
you know what
can-
I'm saying? All right, so walk us through y'all mental health process, man. Like, how do y'all stay sharp? How do y'all stay, 10 toes on a day to day?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, man. It's a good question.
Tequila. No.
Our answer.
Yo. I mean, I would say like, I would say like, to keep it like all the way honest, I don't stay 10 toes every day. That's bullshit. If anyone acts like they're good every day, they're a fucking lie. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but to deal with it is like just showing up when I don't feel like I'm all there. You get what I'm saying? It's like the consistency. But one thing I realize is like the people you're around, the energy, the influence, birds of a feather flock together type
Amen.
shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like if I'm
huge
around,
difference.
am I around 10 millionaires versus 10 broke niggas? Like that mentality. Am I around 10 people that are doing negativity versus positivity? Or are they aligned with where I'm growing into versus who I used to be? Like the thing with us, especially in our culture, a lot of the people that we have in our circle is due to memory lane, like how we grew up. You get what I'm saying? It's like people from the block, people from the neighborhood. So we have a
Comfortability.
whole bunch of comfort or culture versus the idea of who we're growing into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why many times to blow up, you have to go outside your city. You get what I mean? Like, so I realize like the circle I have is everything, because they will challenge me like, yo, Kurt, what you do today? I didn't see you do this. Like, what's up with this workshop, or what's up with this program? Versus someone's like, yo, you can chill today, my guy. You good. Relax. What you doing? You doing enough. You dig what I mean? So people energy is contagious.
That's a fact.
So
I believe in that.
I got 4 kids. I got a Haitian husband.
Wow.
That's why you cook like that.
I'm American, born and raised in Roxbury. And so I remember, one side note, I thought I made him some Goya rice from the box.
Oh,
Shit.
And he said, do you want a divorce?
He was like, this ain't it. This ain't it.
I'm gonna tell you I'm about to go cheat. How about that?
I had to learn real quick. And so, I have a practice. I do a lot of things. And so I'm very intentional about my time. I'm very disciplined. I'm very consistent. I understand that how powerful the mind is, and I refuse to play Russian roulette with it. Ooh. Everybody's breaking point looks differently, and I've watched people have breakdowns over the years, and because I know what that looks like, I'm in the woods a lot. I thought it was a white people thing.
It's really not.
One time I seen a deer, and I was like, oh shit, if I die, they're gonna be like, that's why you shouldn't have been in the woods. I was like, oh shit.
That's always my thought. I went hiking like 2 times. You know what I mean?
But
It's 'cause
that
I
deer
went-
looked at me and kept it moving. I was like, yeah, black people belong here. So
Nah, but it was like I did an extreme. Like I went up the White Mountains.
Oh,
like
shit.
it was a lot. Like I didn't have to do that. I could have just stayed on the ground. I
That's
didn't
not
realize.
extreme. That's good.
This nigga cash.
That's
he could have been in Blue
Right. You could have some simple shit.
No, the White Mountains is good too, because I've done that, and it's
I
like
went, yo,
it's
my
good.
nigga.
Have you ever been camping?
Hell no.
Have you ever been camping since you've been out in the woods, or
Only in
no?
the military, no.
Oh, you was in the military?
Oh,
See, I didn't even know that about
Nah,
you. What branch?
Yeah, that kind of set me
National
back.
Guard.
Yeah.
Oh, you was in the pussy military.
You don't count.
I'm thinking.
You never left. You never went to the rack.
Did you go to Iraqistan?
No.
No, they don't go to the sand, son. They damn near in a swimming pool.
Maybe in Boston Harbor. You know what I'm saying?
That's what got about the Friars. They lifeguards though.
What branch was you in, Cash?
You're right.
We from the,
You're right. I got my freedom.
we from the trenches. You know what I'm saying?
So, what does the phrase "therapists need therapy" mean to you? Because, like, one of my best friends, she's a therapist, and from me to her, I always just see her as like this, or at least I used to see her as this perfect person who has it all together. And it's like when I need to seek some type, right? And I had to understand, like, because they're human beings too, and they're not perfect, and they go through things, and so
you're so stupid.
like they may have it all together for other people and advice, but they have their own issues. So, like, what does therapists need therapy mean to you?
So, because therapy is our job. A mechanic needs to get his car fixed too. It's not just because they're a mechanic don't mean their car's gonna stay fixed.
But he fixes it
himself.
That's
he does fix it.
A barber
himself.
cuts his own hair.
No,
not always.
That's a better example, though. Thank you, Cass.
That just helped your example.
But yeah, so we're human, and I think there's a misconception that because of what I talk about and what I do, I don't go through anything, and that's just not true. I'm a very transparent person. No matter how transparent I am, people still don't believe me. But but yeah, it's just because we're human, and so. I just want to stress, like, therapy is not the only route to like wellness. It's like I'm so big on decolonizing like what mental health looks like. There's just so many other avenues.
It's different for everybody. There's the other part to it, which is like compassion fatigue, right? When you hear people's story every fucking day, that shit,
Passion fatigue,
bro, you get numb to that shit. You see that shit with cops. When they first started to where they are like 3 years later, and they don't give a fuck.
Straight face.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? Like, or social workers, you feel what I'm saying? Compassion fatigue.
It's funny. I remember one time I got arrested. Sidebar. I'm in the police station. I'm looking at these little niggas. They in the holding cell. They drenched in water. So I'm over here. I'm looking at them. I'm like, what the fuck happened to y'all? And the cop goes, "Oh, these little fuckers. We had to go get them out of the harbor." He was like, they had a fucking gun on them, and we started chasing them, and they jumped in the harbor. And like to them, they was joking about this shit, and I'm like, that's not a regular day, my guy.
No, that's not.
I had to jump in the water to go get some little niggas. That had a gun on
that was
them,
probably
right?
a trauma thing for them little niggas too.
And they over here cold, nigga. They like, oh
bullshit.
shit. I'm
That's
over here
it.
looking at them. I'm about to post bail right now. Good luck, little young brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's some real shit.
But so compassion trauma. I wanted to.
Yeah, compassion fatigue, man.
My fault.
Passion.
He said compassion trauma.
That relates more to like a job though.
No, it doesn't,
No.
bro. Think of it like
you
this.
Go ahead.
Like, think of it about that phrase. Niggas die every day, B. Right?
Oh,
Compassion fatigue. Like, we now dehumanize murder in our own neighborhood. Like, yo, no shit happens. It is what it is.
Wow.
Like, that's
Wow.
legit compassion fatigue.
Wow.
Like, we hear about murder so much in our neighborhoods, where it's like, it's just a number. It's just a number. You dig what I mean? It's just another story.
I can't switch that though. I can't change
Do
that.
you feel like
You have
that's
the
how
ability to,
You
though.
can.
We all have the ability to. That's your thoughts. Just saying you can't. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta separate who you are from what you think.
But what should we do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thank you, brother. That's a better way.
What's the remedy?
I feel strongly that everyone's remedy is different. Like, I don't always do the therapy route myself. That's why I never try to go to school. I could even finish school. I didn't have to credit all that shit. But anyways, like, it didn't even work for me. But like, everyone's journey is different. Some people might do the therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people might like coaching. Some people might fuck with the meditation. Some people might realize journaling might work for them. You dig what I'm saying? Rapping, writing bars down, that's a form of journaling. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Like, journaling or finding arts or music or being like, there's so many different things out there. Exercising, but I would always tell someone, you gotta try something.
Right.
You can't just sit still and suppress all that shit, because that's just going to kill you. Like, if you look in our neighborhoods, people are dying from what they think.
The Haitian way.
Like,
No
Our
bullshit.
thoughts are killing people. Nothing else. Thoughts are killing people. That shit's
Cancerous.
crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
it
you
can
know,
be
one
cancerous.
fact is that the amygdala controls like the.
Broken back.
I forgot, Cash.
Ah, shit.
My bad,
You
Cash.
done got him activated.
You wasn't gonna just Euro step past that one.
Yo, that's why
I think he needs you to spell it,
I would have said
Celeste.
the same shit. Like, what?
Oh, spit
You
my
ain't
drink
pretending.
out,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
What?
You ain't pretending. Yo.
He's dead ass. He's
So there's just like, my bad, Cash, yo, my bad, yo, you and I are the same.
Nigga said,
That shit sounds serious. Yo, that shit sounds serious.
I hope I don't get that shit.
Nigga say, is it contagious?
I'm so done with this.
What's the death rate?
he said, am I going with?
Am I gonna live or
Do
die?
you got that shit?
Are you vaccinated?
All right, let's go, man.
My stomach. Wait. All right, that was a good
Yo,
one.
my bad, Cash,
I meant that shit. I
I'm
don't know why
facts, yo. I feel you. You know,
Oh, you was dead ass serious.
Yeah,
you were
y'all
serious.
if you gave me another second, I would have broken it down. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
You a little quick with it.
Nigga cash, man.
My stomach.
So
Oh
the
shit.
part of my brain.
So the arugula. What was you saying?
Amazing. Goddamn.
The bullshit,
Not a
right?
salad.
Bullshit.
I hate y'all.
Not a mental
That
salad.
shit comes here because y'all are some bullshit all the time. All the fucking time y'all are on that bullshit.
They need help.
Nah, this
Oh
is
my
serious
God.
conversation. I'm learning good shit.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's go. What are we talking about?
You stopped me talking.
I wanted the word again.
Amygdala.
Amygdala.
There you go.
There you go.
So the flight and fight response, and we all have it. And we are the only species, human beings, that can activate it with our thoughts. So like if something happens, like our body's like amazing, and so like when we get into like if somebody's chasing us, we could run really fast. So some people have been known to like lift up a car or something, and you're like, oh, this is the flight and fight response. So what happens is that we go through trauma and we never get out of that response, and then our stressors are always in activation mode because it's protecting us. And when it comes to our thoughts, if we're not telling our mind that we're okay, our mind is going to always feel like we need to be in hyper alert, especially in the Black community. Especially, I grew up in Roxbury. I remember growing gunshots all the time, like so much trauma so much trauma in the community, and so like we normalize it, right? So
I'm sorry. He just did the gunshot effect.
I know.
And they are so fucking childish. No, because it's
shit, tell you supposed to be on your best behavior.
Chanel.
I mean, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. I was listening to you.
She talking about trauma, gunshots. This
And then
nigga
he
like-
hits the gunshot. No.
I see.
No, but what she's saying
I
is
see.
real though, because like I live in Roxbury, and that's a thing, like for my daughter, and it's like I don't know if hers.
Chanel, how do you do this with them?
It's hard. You see what I'm saying? That's why I come back every other week because this is too much for me.
So anyways,
Hey, you were saying.
my point is that when you think about like how do we deal with it, it's kind of hard because we're allowing our thoughts to control the narrative. A lot of times we're not in distress, but because we are living in distress, it breaks our body down. It's not by accident that by zip code the death rate looks different as far as age wise, right? Like Brooklyn and Newton and you go down, like their death rate looks different than Roxbury and Dorchester.
Like by 20 years.
So our bodies are breaking down, not because we're literally in a stressor state. Our mind is in a stressor state. And so a lot of the health conditions that we may have is because of the way we're thinking.
Wow.
Which is why I like to help people like shift their thought process.
I'm going home to pack my shit
Damn,
up
on deck,
tonight.
dog. Y'all got me
Like Jesus.
Well, there's other.
lot.
No, you can still live in Roxbury and be okay. It's
Nah,
just
it's not.
it's not about.
That's very hard.
No, I know.
That's very hard.
Oh, you talking about moving?
Nah, you ain't.
I
ain't-
live in Roxbury.
I live
so
in
like,
It's deeper than that because
West
you can
side.
go to Brookline and still have that same mindset.
Very true. Very
so
true.
yeah, so it's really about the mindset because I work with a lot of people that don't have the means to like get out of their situation, but over the course of a few months, they've shifted their thought process. They find themselves having peace in the midst of chaos.
They've become immune to, but is that healthy? Like even with the fight or flight, with certain things going off and you're always up here, like is that considered to be good? Because if you weren't, then something could kind of swindle past you and you may not be on alert. Like what is considered to be healthy in that aspect? That's kind of tough.
Well, being on alert is a survival thing, right? When we're on alert all the time. And so like when something happens, we can tell ourselves that we have what we need to be okay. But a lot of times we don't. Nothing's not always happening.
Okay.
Right? Like somebody come in and they'll be like, oh, like I have a lot going on. I'm like, all right, let's name it. Once they start naming it, it's not that
It's not that
deep.
much. Okay.
But because
You
it's
mean
attached
work?
to all the other it's attached to all the other shit that we're dealing with, then our mind starts to get us ready for something that's not happening.
Got it.
Yeah.
So again, it still always goes back to perception.
To perception, yeah. The thinking is everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kurt, do you go to therapy?
Nope.
Why?
Not right now. I heard this one stat. I tried it a couple times, right? And I remember the last time I went, I had a bad experience, right? Yeah, I had a bad
Walk
and
us
it's
through
not
it.
to
So
say
did I.
everybody.
So did I.
Me too.
I had a bad
Yeah.
experience, right? I remember like I always say that shit like I say that shit a lot of times. I grew up in hi, we Haitian, right? So in my culture, the way I used to see men act was like cheating was the norm. Like that was the norm. So
Sport.
it's a sport. It has nothing to do. No, it really. No, that's some real
No,
shit though.
seriously.
soccer.
I can't
Seriously.
confirm nor deny.
International sport.
They want. He said it's international.
Anyways, Lil Duval said black men don't cheat.
Yeah,
Right.
this is old shit we're talking about.
Oh, I didn't say
Proceed, my brother.
current.
Proceed, my
I didn't say current.
Proceed, my brother.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I saw a culture at one time because black men don't cheat. Right. I saw a culture at one time that was like. That's all I saw from men and women and things to that capacity. So this idea of being in a relationship was even real to me. But I was hurting a lot of people along the way. You get what I'm saying? I also have a son. You dig what I mean? So I was hurting a lot of people along the way. So certain people coping mechanisms might have been the streets. Some people might have been music. Some people might have been girls. So like everyone had their different vices growing up. You dig what I'm saying? Everyone had their different vices, and it is what it is. We all dealt with our stresses and pressures. Look, you didn't usually call your girlfriend. You usually called your side chick.
But what?
You dig what I mean? So I remember vividly. I was in this therapist, and she was a woman, and I explained to her everything. It was some some crazy stories, and she looked at me. She's like, "Oh my gosh," and dropped the pen. I'm like, "No, what? Fuck you!" And
She judged you.
Yeah, she judged me, and I went out. But that's what kind of helped started me on my own journey, though, because this was like 1920 or something like that.
Right.
And so
1920?
when I
His
was
age.
I was
Between
thinking the same
19
way. Like, you were alive?
I'm
How
30
old are you
I didn't
really?
dash out no
Who
reason.
are you?
They're like, right. I'm like,
Thinking
wait.
the same thing. I'm
Thank you
like,
for relating.
1920.
I was at the age of 19 or 20.
Okay, got it. All right. It wasn't just me.
That was the age I
I was
tried
scared.
to.
I thought we were sitting here with
I was
Out
us.
of high school, no college.
That was
I
me.
was going through it.
That's a kid.
And then that's when I tried it. But what I realized with therapy, at least from my experience, I'm not saying this is everyone's experience, is that they'll be like, how you feeling? And automatically how my brain goes and how our brain goes, we automatically start thinking of negative thoughts, right? So I start opening up that door of negativity. But because the session's only 30 minutes long or an hour long, I leave there and I can't close that door. And sometimes there's consequences to me opening a door that I can't close right outside of therapy. So that consequences my people were feeling. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how to deal with those emotions. And
Manage it, yeah.
Exactly. So for some people, it's great. For other people, there's other sources that could work for them. You dig what I'm saying? So that's when I got more into the coaching aspect and started learning more about that.
Oh, jeez.
So what worked for you?
Oh, I'm so serious. Like I had a coach at one time. She was amazing. That really helped me. What helped me was reading certain books. I'm not even gonna lie. YouTube videos. YouTube became my first therapist, my real therapist.
YouTube University.
I'm serious. That's where I graduated from. Right? YouTube. And I'm saying like I would Google certain like gurus and influencers and speakers and really just hear them out and started writing my own shit out. One of the most powerful versions of therapy for me was narrative therapy, because we're nothing more than what we like, that story we tell ourselves. And I started rewriting my story, like challenging my own memories and realizing like, oh, this memory wasn't as bad, or I'm missing certain details from that memory, or because of this I actually became that, so is it that bad? You dig what I'm saying? Word. So when I started doing that work myself, it became different. That's why, like she was saying, you kind of got to go on that own journey yourself to discover what can work for you. And then also my circle of friends, because certain people I fuck with, some people.
I love that circle of friends joint.
Yo, that's just
That's
real,
real,
bro.
because I use my friends as therapists.
It's very important.
Like, I know certain niggas gonna give me straight shit. Some niggas gonna give me the cupcake shit, funny shit. I got a good group of niggas that I filter all my feelings through, and then I come back with a good result every time. You know what I mean? So it's like I know I got a good batch.
Like, see, any of y'all in a relationship?
Yeah. I'm married. Pretty much.
Y'all both married, right?
All three of us.
All three of us. Like, imagine always going to a single person for relationship advice.
Oh, hell no.
Right? Like, that shit might not work in terms of what they say. And I see that in our community. Like, forget the relationship aspect. Like, we're going to broke-minded people asking them how to be mentally rich.
Ooh.
You dig what I'm saying? And I had to realize some of those broke-minded people were my mother and father. You dig what I mean? Like, and some real shit.
Reality for that ass.
It's a fact.
That's a fact. They came from a third world country. Like,
Yes.
like
To them, they made it once their feet hit the ground, nigga.
that was it. And I swear, bro, they sent me down to Haiti for high school for a year, bro.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Punishment? What you do?
That's a story. Yo, when I saw how they lived, I was like, oh, y'all niggas made it. Like, how did y'all make it from
What
this?
part of Haiti?
I was in Port-au-Prince, so Laughlin. Niggas.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Is that good or bad? Or
Nah, I mean the city's the best of the worst.
The capital
Okay.
get it
The best of the worst.
The city get it first.
Yeah, right.
And Haiti gets the worst.
Okay.
You know, in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, they got the 90-90 Zuzu tree. You know what I'm saying?
So silly.
Unlike the mother niggas with the 95s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But yeah, Haitian culture is crazy.
So Celeste, how about you? Like, same question for you. Like, what do you do for therapy?
I'm not in therapy. You know, like
That's real. That's a fair question.
Confirmation. I'm gonna ask you in a month. Are you in therapy? Yes, I am. After your show, y'all niggas.
Have you ever been?
I watch y'all. Like I already know what I was coming in on.
Word.
I've been to therapy before. I had a great experience. It's not uncommon that people have a really bad experience. I hear that a lot.
Especially for black and brown people.
Especially,
Yeah,
people,
he was white.
They call me,
Specifically. My therapist was white as fuck, fat
they
as
call
shit.
me the hood therapist.
Nigga asked me for money first.
He's like, Derek, do you have something for me?
You have the co-payment? Yes.
What was his name? Gerald?
Have your co-payment,
dick.
nigga. But yeah, I'm sorry. I mean that. Yo, that shit was so hard. It was bad. I was like, this can't be real.
So you don't go to therapy, Celeste. Like, what do you do for comfort or for therapy? Like, you look like the type that like rubs your breast for comfort.
I do be like this.
You do. You look like.
I be like.
How do you spot a breast rubber?
I don't know. She's just
I stay mad
I might
chill.
rub something else, but
No, not my titties,
like
my breast.
my head, my scalp, my thigh.
You know you always quick to talk about. You know
But like, no, but like, what do you do for comfort? Since, because like you're a therapist and you don't go to therapy, so like, what do you do?
Therapy. I just want to stress, therapy is not the only avenue to mental health. That is a colonizing thing that they want people to think, because a lot of us can't even afford it. We don't see people that look like us.
Fact.
A lot of my clients call me the hood therapist.
So does the podcast help?
The podcast helps a lot.
I love that.
People reach out to me all the time, and have gotten help just from listening to me talk.
Yep.
I believe that.
So yeah. So as far as what I do, I listen to things. YouTube. Les Brown's like one of my favorite speakers.
Les Brown.
My guy, Les Brown.
Yeah, I listen to him every day.
Me, I know that.
I wake up and go to a 6 a.m. Boxing class.
Wow.
I did
And
that.
I hike later.
I grew up.
I'm really intentional about my time and my care. And because I have so many responsibilities. So I never feel like overwhelmed. I mean, let me reframe that. There are times I feel overwhelmed, but not at baseline. At baseline,
Right.
I'm at peace.
You know how to manage.
Yeah. At baseline, I'm at peace. But obviously, life happens. And so when life happens, I have the tools to deal with it. I deal with it, and I keep it pushing.
I like her for you. I think y'all.
She reminds me about
Why?
that
Because she asked me about my breast. Freaking cat.
I like her. I love her laugh.
Oh shit. Oh damn.
I'm hearing it in the headphones.
I knew Cash was gonna be on. I knew he was gonna be on his bullshit today.
I'm sorry, man. Shit.
Leave it to us to have some rec on the mental health talk.
Come on, man. It's the best way for me to deal with it, man. I
So
laugh
That's right.
about everything.
Comedy is good. That's
I
why
laugh
we be
about
like,
everything.
Yeah. That's
What do you guys do for fun? Like as therapists, like, because I feel like there's so many stigmas
There is
for
bro.
therapists
That
that
shit crazy.
people think y'all are always serious. Y'all can't have
I'm in the
fun.
streets.
Like, what do you guys do for fun? Like,
Now I'm in the street.
You were not in
she's
these
like, I'm
streets.
outside.
You were not in these streets. You in the house.
I'm not in the house.
Making
I
whipping.
just seen Cash
Making curry
like a
goat.
few weeks ago. Come on.
Where? Were you-
Tiki Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
outside.
You ain't invite us?
Outside with it.
I was having dinner, my nigga. Damn.
Oh, no. He was out with another couple. We didn't get invited to that. That was
Oh,
another
got
couple.
it. It's all right.
You know,
It's
his
My
all
other-
bad, yo,
right.
Cash.
It's
My
okay,
bad,
yeah.
yo. You know
It's
what
all
I'm
right.
saying?
It's okay.
My bad.
Be your own niggas.
So what do y'all do? Do y'all like what? Go to
We're
like
humans, bro. Like,
I mean, I do the same shit. Like, I
Same
party,
things? Okay.
I travel.
all day. Know what I listen to a lot? This is why I actually start fucking with this podcast heavy, because I've been a huge battle rap fan for for years. Like, I'm like heavy into URL battle rap.
Yes.
Exactly. You already know where I was going with that shit. I was like, y'all niggas got Chilla? Bro, you guys got Chilla.
Chilla
yeah.
showed up to the most hood rap cipher.
And
ever.
the one in Hyde Park,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
I was
Y'all-
out of town. I was so sad
Yo,
about
but
that.
to run it back though, to give y'all your flowers for y'all to do that cipher with no issues, because I already heard about it before it even went down, for y'all to have so many different mix of different energies and personalities, and for it to go off with no issues. It
was crazy.
I don't think people understand that's such a huge win.
Crazy.
No, on dogs, that's
I drink
huge.
10.
Yeah, we them niggas. We them niggas. Yeah,
drink-
that's facts.
Nah,
I
that's
attest to that.
huge.
We them niggas.
But that's
I mean,
why
so-
I really
so
love
us.
y'all being here, because y'all working. And
Yeah.
like y'all working constantly on black people,
Yeah.
because fuck them. Because they got mad strength
Fuck
already.
who?
The Saxons.
The Saxons in there.
So-
The Saxons in there.
So, I actually, speaking of that, now that you mentioned us being a podcast, right? Did y'all see what Nori was tweeting
Yeah.
recently?
I heard the surface of it. I didn't see what he
He
was
was talking
talking
about
I
Cardi
did.
B.
So Nori was tweeting about certain artists. It wasn't about Cardi B. Don't do that, because it wasn't confirmed that he was talking about Cardi. He actually said, I wasn't even thinking about Cardi. But
Are you up to date?
he did tweet some shit. He said, "I always been the best at this culture. I've always put hip hop first, and I see you guys go to Ellen and David Letterman's and Zane Lowe's and treat them with more respect than the culture. But you say you want black excellence, right?" He said, "I'm gonna be honest. Even going on Oprah or Gayle is trash at this point.
Facts.
We control our own culture. Why go outside of it? David Letterman is my favorite." But man, why go there or Ellen before $1 million worth of game or Joe or the Champs or even better or even Twitter? Shit, right? And I love that because it resonated with home, right? Because like we have certain artists who are on and popping now, right? But they don't reach back to these. Homegrown brands, like what I mean, like these media platforms, CWTFB Radio, BNF podcast,
nigga.
Free That Man, by the way.
Oh yeah, free that guy.
The Museum TV.
What up, Noble?
Yeah, I mean my man Nob. It's Lit Boston. You know what I mean? Things of these natures.
What up, Sam?
Right? So y'all looking at what we're doing here, like why do y'all think that is? Like, like the Bias of the worlds don't reach out to us or
why though? Like, think of it like this. It happens in every sector. Like, you ever heard of that? Like, colorism is a huge issue in our culture, right? You ever see like when a black guy get famous and then all of a sudden he's with like a white girl? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And everyone always talks about that. Like,
Jamie Foxx, they killing that.
oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, they're killing him. They're killing him. But why do we need validation from another culture? Like, even when like back in the day, like Grammys meant more than the Source Awards.
Right.
But why?
Right.
But why? You dig what I'm saying? And
To who? Right.
To who? You get what I'm saying? Like, Will Smith got banned for 10 years. So, like who really cares? So it's the idea of like we put a lot of value to other people's culture. But my question is why? You get what I think everyone has their own reason why. You get what I'm saying? Maybe they're looking for more money. Maybe they're looking to that crossover appeal. Maybe they're looking for some level of acceptance in different rooms and spaces that they never experienced before. You dig what I'm saying? Because they already know what it is with these people. One, I try to go in with that people. You dig what I'm saying? But I don't think it's a necessity. Why not have us be the staple of the culture? Because they always take from our culture already to begin with. Preach.
It's kind of like, like your family, or like you said in the beginning, in your professional life, you're this way, your back is straight, you're good. But when you go home, your wife gets the short end of the stick. It's like, because you always know, like, she's always going to be there. Like, I'm comfortable, she's good. But you treat these other people with a certain type of, and it's, I think that all correlates, and it's like you said, it's all different reasons per person, but that's a very important question that people should ask themselves.
And I think we need more ownership in the culture.
Yes.
We don't own, like, this is why Exposed TV is dope. This is why what y'all doing is dope. It's ownership versus trying to rent a house in their room. You get what I mean? And I think that part is huge. That's why I was talking to you earlier. Like, I think we need more black leaders and owners. I don't even like, we need to be the staple. We need to own our shit so we can control that narrative. I don't think people realize how important that is.
Celeste.
My mother got me a perm when I was 8. We was colonized to think that straight was better. I think a lot of it has to do with just colonization of like white is better. And I've never been the type to focus on who wasn't supporting me. I looked at who is supporting me. And even as I continue to build my brand and I look at how you've built your brand, I've been watching you since you was in the hotel, then the car wash, then here. So like, I'm always weird. I'm in his DM all the time. Not on no crazy shit. Hold on, pause.
Moment.
This is really gay.
She says she's outside.
I'm always in his DM like, yo, this is dope, blah, blah, blah. And I'll talk shit on the, like, I will,
That's
like,
one of our biggest supporters.
Yeah, like, I really,
we
and
love
so,
you.
like, when
Know
I see the growth, it's like, just because we're not on iHeartRadio doesn't mean we're not growing. And so when we celebrate our wins, like, it's hard for me to look at what's not happening or who's not sharing or who's not doing things.
Right.
And that's what, like, the fact that you're here and the fact, like, this is mad dope to me, because a lot of times our people, we only look at what's not happening or who's not. A lot of my, a lot of people that follow me are not people that I've known, and I've built it because of my consistency and discipline. And Charlie's the same way. Like, and so, like, I think when it comes to that idea of why do these people do that and this, it's something that I don't really like focus on.
That's fair.
And you already know too, some of these people have management that are not even from the culture.
That's a fact.
They change management when they start growing in different levels of different levels in people, right? So many times their management becomes their voice, and they're like, no, you're not, you gotta go here versus there. Exactly. But
Shit's sick.
But yeah, you know, it is what it is.
So what you're saying is I need more Saxon friends.
Why are you looking here?
No, Charlie, you're fine.
You looking Saxon light right now.
She said,
Not with these not
with those braids.
This is
she's
therapy
not.
for me. Like this, doing this shit right here. I love this shit. Like
Let's
now.
go.
And I can say that now. Like when I
Yeah.
first started, I was a little, but now when
Now
I,
you're exercising the arugula part of your brain.
The
Yeah.
arugula.
Yes.
yeah, the arugula, all that, magula, magada, all that.
Magula Mugata.
all that shit. But yeah, so I understand like going through different avenues to find that.
Find that peace, bro.
Yeah,
So
that's dope.
that's
I
just
met a
fine.
lot of millionaires who are broke right now mentally. You dig what I'm saying?
That's sad.
That is very sad. So to find that level of peace, that's just crazy. Or I know a lot of people whose coping mechanism is just music alone, but at home it's just hell. You dig what I'm saying? The only time they find peace is when they're in that studio, but when they go back home, it's just all fucking hell or something like that. Or sometimes a coping mechanism. What that Lil Key died from? What? They said it was supposedly kidney failure, and it had to do with sipping on this. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on that lean all the time. So it's just sad, like how we sometimes in our culture just have unhealthy coping mechanisms that's not allowing us to grow. That's all.
Chanel, I know you got some heat.
What do you want your community to know about you? Like what's like a great lasting impression that you want the Black community to know about you as a therapist, you as a
Yeah, you
On
can
track.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what to coin you as.
I'm in the streets.
She outside.
I'm outside. No, that, you know, healing's available to everyone. I always share the story about being 19 and what's that? What?
It was like a little gnat. It was in my shit. I wasn't giving you a single.
Like, they wrap that shit up. I was like, oh shit, nigga.
This is reckless.
Wrap it up,
That
B.
shit up.
He put the whip
like-
out on me.
You was 19 and
I just want the people to know healing's available to us all. You know, people always say when they're around me they feel peace, and it's not because I'm different from you. It's because of how I feed myself. In the same way, when we're hungry, we go to the refrigerator. I just want people to know, like, when your spirit is hungry, think about what you're feeding it, right? So if you look at your screen time and it has like 5 hours on social media, like try to like change it up a little bit and give it something different, so that you can start to like switch up the way that you're thinking and living life. So I'm not perfect. I'm drinking tequila. I'm on this podcast.
Tequila's perfect. Tequila's
You on the
perfect. So you're good.
And I'm just a regular person.
Word.
I love that.
I don't even know, bro. Like, yo,
He's like, I'm here.
I'm here. That you about to say something?
no. Answer the question.
I don't even like legit. I'm here. I don't know, like whatever you want to know. I don't care. Like the reason why I'm saying that is because many times I'm not trying to fit an image no more. You dig what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to fit into anyone else's box outside of who the fuck I am, and like I'm just trying to project that out for my people and allow them to feel comfortable in their own space and just project out what you're doing. But I hope you're growing with that. You dig what I'm saying? We all have goals and aspirations. So if you have a goal, that means who you are is not going to be who you are won't get you to where you need to get to. So there has to be a level of 1 or 2 different levels of characteristics that you have to grow into. You know what I'm saying? I got aspirations to be a multimillionaire. So I know this version of me won't get me there. So I have to grow some way, shape, or form. And I'm hoping that our community can have that same energy, because we could literally take shit over. I really believe we can.
I love that.
You know what I can hear from you? I know you heard the College Dropout. That song, Never Let Me Down, Jay-Z, and the nigga J. Ivy. You could do the J. Ivy.
You said that.
When the nigga goes, he's like, he would never let me down. And these words are found. Right? That's some Kurt Faustin shit, my nigga. Like, you can do that shit, bro.
Man, you're gonna make me drop a mixtape next week.
I'm saying you could do that shit, bro. I might have
Be
to have
careful,
you,
they might have you on here on the 5 cups and how you shit.
They don't be playing over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't put my shit.
We just go snap.
Nah, I don't want no snap, bro. Nah, I don't want no snap.
Yeah, they gonna be like, he's a
can hold
good
somebody's
entrepreneur, but I
mixtape.
don't know about the rap. And Cash don't hold back.
Nah, man.
You diplomatic.
Cash gonna be
You
like,
in the
yo,
middle.
look. Like, you know, that shit was kind of mid.
I ain't no judge.
It's not the shit that I usually smoke on.
Nah, it's all right. It don't matter.
Oh shit.
It's dope, though. It's definitely dope.
We know
Shit
Celeste
tell
is
you
in a
that.
relationship. You're married. Are you?
Nah.
All right. So the reason why I asked is because, you know,
13 years.
yeah, shout out to you, man.
Wow.
That's fire.
Yeah, actually,
That's
that. You're right.
beautiful. For that.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to him too, man. Man. Her husband.
Yeah, yo, he's the man behind.
Yes.
Nigga said the
Yo,
who.
I thought I was about to say
when
this
I
nigga
was
just said he was
when I
serious.
was thinking about leaving my job and going to private practice, he was like, "Oh, you know, if you want, we could pay a year's rent and blah blah blah." He's not gonna be sugarcoating shit. Haitians, y'all just be like mad raw.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to like deal with his personality, because I like a little, you know, sugarcoating, but you know, them Haitians
Nah, we
ain't
don't do
doing
that
that.
shit.
Magin Tokusai.
No, we have zero time for the budget, right? Mental health in relationships, right? Like, do you feel like your partner is like a huge piece of that mental health?
Yeah, so like I have this book called Relationship Goals, and I created it because I always see like relationship goals everywhere. Hashtag from a picture, like you don't know what happened before, after the picture, nigga.
That was that dog. Facts. Nigga was asked to smile just for that. Smile, nigga. I'm gonna punch you in your fucking
Nigga be
mouth.
like, take a picture.
Yo, so I always say, yo, if my husband wasn't who he was, my relationship would have been mad toxic, because he held me accountable for my bullshit. And I think a lot of times in relationships we allow our trauma is going to show up the most in relationships, because they're the closest people to us.
Right.
And so I would be like, when I remember when we broke up, I was like, oh, you're just gonna leave me? You know, that's no shade to my girls, but that's what we be thinking all the time and saying. And he was like, I didn't.
That's a real nigga. He said, yeah.
I was like, yo, y'all know I'm mad old.
Cut this shit.
Hold on. The phones wasn't free yet, but until after 9, and
We was there too, man. Come on, son. We ain't there.
We was there. What you
so I was
talking about?
like stalking him, calling his job and shit. It was a good day. I was suffering.
Oh,
He called my bluff. He wasn't with the shit.
yo.
So, you know, I think that when it comes to mental health and like dealing with our own, like when you can deal with your own stuff, your relationship looks different. Because we come from 2 different backgrounds. I'm single parent, 2-family household, American and Boston and Roxbury, Haiti. Like, coming together,
Word,
some
just
shit's gonna
all
be
you
going
gotta do
down.
is say Haiti. You ain't gotta say nothing.
it's
Nobody else.
No, what's like important? You said that though, right? Because culturally, how we look at relationships is different at times, right? So sometimes you might grow up with a single parent household, and you see your mom take care of everything.
Yep.
Which
And
I
many
did.
times they say like a man's relationship with his mom is going to dictate his relationship with his wife one day.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm
Wow.
saying? So you might think that your wife is supposed to take care of everything,
Not
and she's
knowing
supposed
she stressed the fuck out.
not knowing she's stressed the fuck out, or some like think about it, like how come in our demographic, black men and black women, we suck at relationships? Like we get the like black men date out their culture the most, right? Black women deal with the most level of domestic violence and emotional abuse. You dig what I'm saying?
Too loud.
It's crazy. Divorce rate is the highest within our culture. You dig what I'm saying? Like, but why can't we manage just a union between a man and a woman? And I always say, growing up for me, and I know a lot of my peers, we never like celebrated a relationship. We celebrated nigga with the most girls. We celebrated the.
We were taught to hate each other. Technically,
we were taught.
Hate is a strong.
I wouldn't say
It's really not.
Well, but we were.
You
taught,
know what I meant, though.
We were
not
taught, like-
taught to love on each other.
we weren't
in
taught
that
this
aspect.
idea of love. Like sex was more of an activity than the idea of an expression of
We
love.
taught to fuck.
And
not
then
to
we-
hate. You know what I mean?
You get what I mean?
But-
and I,
When
and
I
we-
was 14, my mom put a fucking brown paper bag full of condoms on my bed and said, "Nigga, if you gonna do it right." And I said, "Lady, I've already been doing it, but thank you. You just saved me a whole lot of money."
That's a fact.
So, my fault. Keep going.
No, it's the same shit though.
Yeah.
To your point, like I feel like culture norms, like they kind of get passed down. Like she said earlier, trauma could get passed down. Culture norms could get passed down. So I don't know a lot of Haitian men. Like I got obviously my friends, majority of them are Haitian. I don't know a lot of them in healthy relationships.
Wow.
Because none of us grew up in seeing healthy relationships.
So what happened to the relationship with you and your son's mom?
Damn.
No, that was a good question, right? No, it's a good question. Like, so to like, I know.
Tell the truth.
So like the truth is like I used to call myself like an ex fuck boy. You dig what I'm saying? So I like
That explains it all. You ain't even gotta
I
say
don't
no
gotta
more.
say
That's
no
it.
more, right? I never was trying
J.
to.
Cole
really
said,
be in-
J. Cole.
Go one for it.
J. Cole
you
said
go
sex
one.
be healing that shit.
But I wasn't one of these niggas. I was never trying to be in a relationship, to be honest. Like now I'm in my 30s, I realize like, oh shit, you don't want to be in your 60s by yourself. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
Pull-out
oh,
game was trash.
But in my 20s, I didn't really care about that. That wasn't where my value was. Like, oh, I want to be in a, good, healthy relationship. But actually, like, last point though, I think that's part of the issue within our culture. Like, how many people have strictly platonic relationships?
I think our culture pushes us into monogamy. I don't think monogamy is for everybody, but I think that
Oh, that's a
Preach,
whole
sister. I know what that means.
That's a whole other conversation.
Monogamy definitely gets more watered down over time.
Reverend Kanye said, "Love is cursed by monogamy."
He said love is cursed by monogamy.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't say it, but he said something about a girl's tattoo that said "love is cursed by monogamy." It was in the song. All right, whatever. Right, it was in the song. Right, but that shit resonated, right?
Yeah.
Because humans are animals, and da 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 da. We can talk about this shit all day, right?
That's
Yeah.
a whole other
Yeah.
episode.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Dead dogs. Right. But I think people's perceptions of how relationships work and where they want to be in life and things of that nature, they get propelled onto their partners, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to reach a happy medium, right? That's what all relationships are about, right? Like you gotta fucking what works for us, right? Fuck what everybody else is doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are we gonna make this shit work?
Yeah.
Stop letting
Right.
other people in your relationship.
Right.
Then it becomes like,
And you know why I stopped getting into
That's why
people's
threesome.
relationships? Because I've witnessed it firsthand. couples who get into squirrels that you feel like are larger than life, they will forgive each other. They won't forgive you. Right? So shut the fuck up.
Mind your business.
Mind your fucking business. And then when your friends bring shit to you, be like, yo, I don't want to hear that shit.
No, it's so dope what you're saying too. Like you can use that same example and look at like Will and Jada.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, they were relationship goals until they overexposed some of their inner workings of the relationship. Now everyone's like,
it's
yo,
like, Will, Jada, I don't want to hear that shit.
Thank you. So
August could have been eating her pussy at breakfast. You was making the bacon. That's none of my business.
It's none of my business. What works for you works for you,
bro.
So sometimes overexposure, right?
Nigga come from under the table.
That nigga couldn't sing that good.
Yes, he can. August can sing. He can sing. I can't.
Anything y'all want to close out with, man? This is fun, man. I feel like this was a therapy session for me, man.
Oh, good.
That's dope.
That's dope.
This was
Nah, I give you credit, bro. Like being able to, because I know you don't do a lot of mental health episodes, but I feel like the culture needs it. So
absolutely,
the fact being that you're
You
like,
don't
no
do
one.
any mental health.
Actually,
that's not true. Chanel had
Amandi.
Amandi.
Amandi, but he's a musician, but it did end up being that way.
He's culturally
No, that was actually really good. Yeah.
But
only
you're
because
doing
Chanel
what,
was here, not because y'all niggas was
Right.
here.
You see what they left up there, though, right?
Sorry, Charlie.
I was engineering.
See?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fact.
He was on the side eating chicken.
Yeah, I brought it though.
but nah, you do what you do well in your lane. You dig what I'm saying?
Word.
You guys are like, why wouldn't you?
We know our niche.
Exactly.
Right.
Business wise,
It's not R&B either, right?
Yeah, fuck that.
Right. Last question.
No, that's it. Don't do that to Chanel. Don't do that.
It's important.
I know. She wants to mix it up.
Important.
No, she
I
wants
love
to mix it up. I'm glad she's
I
here.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
But we know our core audience, right?
Exactly.
Bang, bang, nigga.
But see, that's why I'm gonna have the spinoff. It's
fuck
coming
with it.
soon.
Oh,
It'll
that
come
would be
soon.
dope.
This is the
All right,
manifestation.
my bad. Let's close it out.
Drill music in rap. What do you think that's doing to young black men?
Ooh, I love that question.
That is a great question.
I love that question.
What do you mean? What is it doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is he saying?
It's fucking with the arugula.
Cash was like, it's making niggas do that leg thing, nigga. I mean, that's what it's doing.
Know what?
I think you're thinking too deep.
Yeah.
No.
Are
He's,
we though?
he's
But
not.
are we
That's a
though?
really good
You got
question.
some Albanian kid fucking remixing drill shit, right? And he's not about that. But then there's niggas who are. And they really doing this drill shit. What the
You're
fuck
right
is
though.
happening?
No. Let's go more specific, right? Let's Let's do two examples though, right? Right now, they're using rap lyrics to keep people in jail, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, that part I seen.
That's
sick.
wild.
They're using lyrics. They said, you said you have this and that. Know what? That must mean A, B, C, and D.
Free
Or-
YSL, young servants of the Lord.
Yeah, young servants of the Lord. I seen the prosecutor was reading
using
the
lyrics. But it's not the first time.
He was like, I love this part too. Ready, Judge? And niggas, they have 100 rounds in a chopper. That's a firearm. Yo, nigga, I
It's
get
crazy.
it. It's sick.
But the part of drill that I would always challenge is like, if you look at it many times when they talk about dead people, right? Like that part when you're now, like if you're someone that's not from the culture, like the Albanian kid, for example, screaming, I'm not from 63rd. But like, how about if you actually are from
It'd be 63rd.
Is that the kid that's it went viral like on Instagram, y'all?
I don't know that kid.
We don't say
I don't know.
that.
But let's say you are from there.
63rd.
Right? But let's say you are from 60.
This shit is contagious. I'm about to do it.
Chanel, you better stay strong. Stay
I'm
strong.
trying. My mental.
I'm staying strong.
But yeah, but go ahead.
But no, let's say you are from there. How you gonna feel if they talk about people, your like family members or friends?
It's triggering.
That's
trigger,
all I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm gonna
If
tell you
it's
like this.
triggering, and if you don't have the healthy coping mechanism,
It is really triggering, niggas. Like there's a trigger. That
Here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Here's
automatic. Switch a switch.
the kicker. Here's the kicker. Rap is the coping mechanism. And these little niggas don't really want to kill nobody.
I
Because
agree.
niggas
What do you
who
think
was-
they want to do? Just express themselves?
they want to sound hard.
Yes. Acceptance.
What happens
Got it.
is when we was growing up, niggas wasn't talking about dead ops. They wanted to make you a dead op.
Yeah.
If you was a op, we're not talking about it, my nigga. We gonna talk about it after we kill you on the song, right? We're not talking about your niggas who died last year or 10 years or 5 years or whatever ago. These little niggas, they talking about this, oh, we smoking on your dead ops. That nigga been dead for 8 years. Why are we smoking on that nigga still?
Yeah.
Go kill somebody else. Everybody's up.
Calm
No,
down.
Pause. That's definitely a way.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is
Calm the fuck down.
Right,
You sound
right.
like an old ass nigga.
what I mean is this.
I actually get what you're saying,
yes,
bro.
you get it.
Yes.
What I mean is we calling your bluff. You want to sound crazy because
You wanna
smoking
sound
on niggas.
tough.
You want to oh, you're hard. You're smoking on my dead ops. Oh wow, that's crazy. Go kill somebody if you really that
I
tough.
see more
They're
art
not.
in it, bro. I see more
So
art
you
in it.
listen
It is,
to this.
but it is art though. I'm not taking the art away. My fault. Go
No,
ahead.
it's okay. The people in the 60s thought the 70s music was bad. 70s thought the 80s. 80s thought the 90s. 90s, you know, I hear my kids listen to some stuff and I'm like, what is that? Like, but they be bopping off of it. The therapist in me is like, you know what? Times have changed. I'm sure when we listen to a lot of music, Haitians, none of this shit worked. But as far as like the American culture, they was like, this
Black
is not
American.
music.
Black American. Black American.
Chanel,
laughing
you know
because she
what I'm
knows what it
saying?
is.
Everybody talking about y'all Haitians.
I don't know what the fuck they saying, but it sounds good.
Her man Black American too.
You're Haitian?
No.
No.
Oh, I'm about to say, I
I'm
didn't think you were.
mixed.
She's mad opinion.
I'm just
Mad opinion.
I'm mixed. A little
But
bit
it's
of this, a
not
little
like
bit of
the
that.
music is beautiful. Like legit, the rapper I keep listening to, he's a Memphis rapper, Key Glock. Like there's
I
some.
love that nigga.
You said you don't?
I love that nigga.
Yo, there's something about his music is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
I think he's amazing. But like you said, some of the music can be triggering. Triggers aren't an issue. It's when you don't know how to handle those triggers. Like I get triggered every day, but I don't got to shoot down, metaphorically, of course. You get what I'm saying? I don't got to shoot down anyone who triggers me if I know the coping mechanisms to deal with it. And I think what problem is like if I hear the drill music and you always talk about my dead family members and friends, I now want to make a record to do that, or I might want to retaliate when I see you. And that's not what, like you said, a lot of these kids aren't really
Built like that.
they're not. They just want the popularity.
Right.
They want the money. They want the fame. They want the success. And they feel like this is the easiest and quickest route to get there. So that's the only issue. The music, I like
I
the
like that
music.
shit.
I like the music.
I like that bang bang shit.
I like the
But that's me.
music. I like the music. I'm just thinking the other
That
side
right
of
leg
it. That's
get to
all.
moving, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You know what I mean?
Yo, the music.
Choose what the future brings. What that mean to you when you hear it? When you see this,
Say that again.
Choose what the future
We
brings.
all have choices, right? Like Kurt was just talking about triggers. Like we can be triggered all day, but we can choose how we respond. There's a lot of niggas in jail would wish they had have chosen a different route. So I just feel like when we realize that we do have choices, we will operate differently. But a lot of people have not been empowered over the years. They've been disempowered as children, and as adults, they're operating from that same lens. So
Very well said.
I think that's dope. I know, yeah.
Killed that.
Yo, we're not a product of our environment. We're a product of our decisions. And many times our decisions come subconsciously based off other shit. But like we're a product of our decisions. Every day we get to choose what the fuck we want to do. You get what I'm saying? But many times we just choose the same shit we did yesterday, perpetuating yesterday's problems into today. Like,
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Hold on, my kids, their mom is a therapist, right?
Yeah.
So I'm big on words and language.
Yeah.
If I say I have to go to the bathroom, they'd be like, yo, you choose to go to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I said, say less.
Yeah, I love that.
So like everything,
Hold that shit.
everything is a choice. Even going to take a piss.
Yes. I
But you
love
know what?
that.
You right. Stand right there.
I was like, yo, you right.
I love that.
You said have to, it's choose to. Like, yeah, you right, you right.
Good for them. That's
good.
dope.
so
That's
cute.
good. This is dope. Well,
This is amazing.
I choose to end this episode. Right? Yo, we had Kurt Faustin in the building alongside Celeste the Therapist, man. This was great. This was like a therapy session for me. I don't know about you guys.
Likewise.
Y'all better
Likewise.
say yeah, you know
Great.
what I'm saying? You choose to say yes, or you feel like
You gotta end this shit like with her laugh. You gotta fade that shit out. Her
Are you
laugh
choosing it or
is
it's
so
Charlie?
contagious. I love her.
Niggas making me.
Oh shit! Hey, your laugh is gonna be a soundbite on Dead Dog.
You gotta add that.
We can see WTFB radio, man.
Celeste dying over here.
Celeste, you killing me.
My cheeks hurt.
We see WTFB radio. Choose what the future brings. Black culture through music. I am Charlie Machine. She is the Empress Chanel Shantae.
Boy.
That's Cash No Motherfucking Money, man.
Zipper.
We love y'all. This episode
Yes.
125. Till next week, we out of here, man.
Love it.